You when it's ready. And now we are live. Yay! Good morning if you are in the US, but I have a guest that is not in the US. So she is so special to me. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. And yeah, and we're going to go from there.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeanette Cefre, and I'm based in France. So it's the afternoon for me. It's the end of my day, actually. And I'm a business activation coach and mentor. And I basically help women in corporate who are ready to pivot to entrepreneurship get started. Because let's face it, the hardest thing sometimes when you're thinking about starting your business is actually taking the first steps and starting. So that is me.
Yes, and like it's so amazing to hear how you have been like growing into your confidence. But I'm gonna introduce myself just in case if somebody's here and they don't know me because we're live in like Facebook, LinkedIn, on the Facebook group. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ati Greenspan. I'm a personal branding coach and photographer. And Janet here, she is our first international client, but she literally just graduated our academy.
Yes.
And she actually was asked by me to become one of our peer coaches because she has done so amazing inside of the academy. And I really wanted to showcase her because you were in corporate for how long, Janet? 27 years?
In my last job, 27 years, but if I count them all together, it's like 30 plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you took the opportunity during the pandemic
Yeah, absolutely.
to
So
run with an idea.
exactly. So during COVID, and I want to preface it by saying I was happy in corporate. I was as like happy, content even. Um, but I really truthfully and honestly wasn't fulfilled, right? So I can do my job with my eyes closed and whatnot. And when that happens, you start to think about other things. And when COVID happened, everyone knows what happened with COVID, and a lot of companies wanted to stay afloat. And being here in France, we had this great opportunity to on a volunteer basis leave, right, and leave with certain condition. And one of the conditions was they would support us in leaving and help us start our own company. So here I am.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
amazing.
And you had it in your heart. You did have it in your heart because you were educating even back in your corporate career.
Yeah. So in my corporate career, it's exactly what I did for about, let's say, 13, 14 years. I was in learning and development. So education is like, it's part of me as an individual, but it was the majority of my career. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. So, Janet, I want to pivot a little bit. So, you found me, I don't even know, we always talk about this. Like, you found me on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, I did.
You found me on Facebook and then you joined one of our boot camps.
Yes. So actually, the first boot camp I joined and I sort of stopped in the middle, and I thought, I don't know if this is it. Wasn't sure. And then thankfully, you did another boot camp like several months after, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing the whole 5 day. I think it was 5 days at the time. Yeah. Anyway, whatever it was at the time, I said I'm going to go ahead and do this.
And what happened after?
Afterwards, I joined the academy. Of course, I made the decision, and this was the hardest thing because you know this. I just started my entrepreneurship. I was still really trying to find myself and really trying to, um, you know, it was hard. You have to do all the things, right? And so I was doing all the things, but I know that I didn't have the experience and exposure, starting a business, right? And I took the chance on myself and I invested in myself. And never had I done that before. Never.
So I want to actually talk a little bit about the bootcamp. So I'm going to bring you back a little bit. There is two things that resonate with me so much right now. One is you had 30 plus years as an educator in corporate, but when you started your business, you still felt lost,
Absolutely.
which is so normal for women. They come with an expertise. You have been doing your craft or whatever it is that you do. Like we had in the past, like nutritionists, we have, I don't know, we have coaches, we have people on the arts, and it's like a recurrent. I'm really good at what I do, but I don't know how to stop being the best kept secret.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really, and it's something that we've touched on before, is you're still in that employee mindset,
Oh, yeah.
right? And it's hard to do that shift, and you need someone to walk you along that way. And you just need to even be able to identify, the things, right? And you don't even know you're such a robot. You don't realize you're a robot in this corporate
I
enigma
know.
kind of
But
thing.
I think it's everything though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they
no, no, for
say,
sure.
what is it, 97% of all decisions we make in a day, they're like we're like a little computers running
Yeah.
around. And
Yeah.
we literally go unconscious and we make these decisions, right? Like even when we're not making decisions, we're actually making a decision.
Absolutely.
Right. So what was the one thing about the boot camp that brought you back? Because one of the things that I hear from people, and I'm actually love that people come back to the boot camp, that speaks to number one, the effort that I put in it. And I really make it a no-brainer. Like I always hear from people like, you should charge for this, right? And I'm like, yes, but this is the segue. Like, if you actually want to pay me to work with me, we'll have an opportunity. But this is my way of making a difference. But what was the thing on the boot camp that you were like, okay, like people need to come to this?
So the boot camp, I mean, I just can't even stress the value, because I agree with the sentiments of you should charge for this, but I'm happy that you don't, or I'm happy that you didn't. But the value that you get in the 5 days, and then the add-ons that you have after that, because you did, at least at the time that I did mine.
Yeah. This time
Um,
we have like 4 bonus sessions.
yeah. It really spoke to me. It spoke to my needs. It was relatable. It was tangible. I see a lot of stuff. There's stuff that comes on my Instagram all the time, and they're not, for me, they weren't tangible. They were very fluffy. I don't know how else to explain it. But in the boot camp, you went to work, right? This wasn't you. I mean, directly, directly went to work, and you were real, right? We were real in what you were saying. I felt you were genuine and authentic. So that really resonated with me. And I think another thing that really pushed me over the edge to make that decision to invest in myself is that I know what it is. I know what it is to have crappy, excuse the French, crappy offers, crappy programs.
You had a
Um,
bad experience before you
oh,
started
yeah.
working with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say, I paid a lot of money for what that was and for the time frame, right? So your time frame is much longer. But the high touch that you have, unbeatable.
You always say that, and it makes me
I
so
do, because
happy.
people, everyone has their different programs. But for me, if as a newbie in entrepreneurship, right? I know my stuff, but like, to help navigate, you can't just give me an assignment and then, or an assignment, a task or whatever, and then, okay, I'll see you in our next meeting next month. No, I don't work like that. And I really appreciated your high touch, because I never felt alone. And entrepreneurship
It's
could be
lonely.
very lonely. You know that. I never felt alone, even if you're in Las Vegas.
I know, how crazy is that? That's amazing.
I don't feel alone, and everything that you have in your program really supports me in that, right? Even if I'm miles and miles away, I don't feel it.
That's amazing. We can't wait to meet you in September. We keep pushing for the event. So I wanna speak to the women that now they started their business and they're like, okay, is this boot camp worth my time? Is this boot camp is going to be worth actually me sitting in the computer for 5 days, for an hour, and actually doing the homework? What would you tell to somebody that is like, I don't know, there is so much free shit out there. I signed up for this, but I don't know if I'm gonna show up.
All right. So, I mean, there requires a level of commitment, right? You as an individual, you know when you've reached that point of, you know what? I got to do it. If it's this program or another program, I still have to do the action steps
Yeah.
to make it happen. So that's first off. It is so worth it, because you're not going to realize how much a community helps you, number one. Number two, how much guidance that you need. And I, truth be told, I was like, Coach, I
But
can.
this is for the free boot camp, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, did you feel this supported through the boot camp? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely, absolutely. Because you're there. I mean, even though we weren't like connected at that time, like the boot camp, I felt committed
Yeah.
because you gave us homework, girl.
Yes, yes. I
You
can
gave us homework, and
imagine.
it's so worth the time. And honestly, for me, it set the pace for what I should be doing and for what I should be thinking about. So for me, it was definitely worth the time. And it's an hour, max hour, and an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes,
You
yes,
can
yes.
invest if you're serious about wanting to start, you can invest that.
That is so true. That is so true. Actually, that's funny how you mentioned that because we were talking with a team about like how I put so much work on the workbook so people can follow along and they can leave even for free with this that is like you still have it.
I was just gonna say I should have prepared it. I still have it. It's folded up so many different ways. I still look at that. I still look at that because it reminds me of what my one liner. I remember we were working on our one liner, right? And I look at that now, not to say to myself like, wow, how much have I evolved?
Yes.
It's not like it's my one liner has changed. But I would say what has evolved is my confidence in sharing my one liner and be proud of it and
And
not
what
like,
you do and what you do and
yeah,
really having clarity because I think that is the biggest thing, especially when you're starting and growing a business. If you don't have clarity, you're completely lost, and that is the problem. Like people don't realize, people think I need all the strategy. I'm like, yeah, you do need the strategy, but like the strategy you can only implement if you have clarity. We
yeah.
do so much of that on the bootcamp and then on the program too.
I was just gonna say, if you get one thing out of this boot camp, you're gonna get clarity. You're
Yes.
or you're gonna get an aha moment like, I need to be more clear in
Yeah.
what I want. I need to be more clear in who my audience is. For sure, you're gonna get clarity. And
Yes.
it's almost the recurring question to this day. We've been together now, what, a year, right?
Yes.
So, or maybe even more than that, because I've been following you before that. But I still get the question, am I clear? I always ask the question, is this clear enough? Is it clear for
Yeah.
my customer? Clarity is like huge
It's
for me.
huge. It's huge in business. This has been amazing. So, Janet, if people are looking to start a business and they're lost, they don't know what to do, and they need somebody to like ideate or like throw ideas with and really get some direction, like where can they find you right now?
So you can find me in both Instagram. On Instagram, it's at Conngage, Conngage, and you can also find me on LinkedIn by my name, Jeanette Cefre, Cefre. But if you just put Business Activation Coach, I pop up there. So
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes, because we found this name that it's amazing for you.
absolutely,
I
we
love it.
did.
Let's make sure because we are live on LinkedIn to like tag you in there because I don't know if it tags you with like StreamYard. So to tag you and make sure that people can find you
Yes.
and they can like go and follow you. Her content, you guys, is amazing. So go follow Janet. And then if you are registered for the bootcamp, we're so excited to have you next week. But if you are not registered for the bootcamp, you have all the information right here. It's like, how cool is this program that we can have a banner? Isn't it so
I
cool?
love it. It's pretty cool.
I know. So go to www.tgreenspan.com/bootcamp. Register for the bootcamp. Let us know who sent you, and we'll see you Monday. We kick off April 17th, and we are going to be doing all the things. Bye, you ladies. Bye.